I just removed you.
Okay.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So here's what we're going to do. First things first, we're going to open this bottle of wine. And
Yes.
Tzvi, you'll do us the honors?
Yes, I will.
Excellent, please. And I just gave a bit of a briefing about what this wine is.
How's it going, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen?
yeah. Or we're going to flip the camera around a little bit.
Whoops.
But let's open the wine. Drum rolls, please. And I love this guy right
Yeah,
over
you know
here.
what? I'll just at least put, at least I'll watch you or somehow.
Awesome.
Okay, or myself. Which is kind of
The
there's
big
kind of
boas are going to Dubai.
there's kind of a delay here, which is interesting, but whatever, it's all
A
good.
delay in what?
In the broadcast and what I'm seeing, but I guess that's the
Yeah,
internet.
don't worry about it.
It's all good.
It doesn't have to be on. You can turn yours off.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we just decided to work together. So
All
we're
right.
opening up this
Oops.
bottle of wine.
Where am I stepping?
And I'm just standing here so YouTube at least sees someone. Yeah.
All right.
And that is how it's done.
It's funny.
Oh, yes,
I
we
was
sure will
watching.
make a geffen.
I was watching a guy yesterday at a Fabring and trying to open a bottle with a similar corkscrew, and I'm just watching the
Watch
guy.
out for those glasses, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just watching the guy, and I'm like, I feel like I'm watching a train wreck with him, because he's just like, I was like, he was like all the way on the other end of the table, and it was just like the funniest thing. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's. He almost ripped the. There we go. That's not what happened when he opened it.
What happened?
Like, it was just like. I was like,
You know, it's funny
wasn't
because
happening.
in Israel, a traffic jam is called a pkak, which is the exact same word for cork. It's like, yeah, when you're getting that traffic
Right.
noise, you're getting the...
Okay,
All right. So,
ladies and gentlemen, okay, I'm sure Nachliel told you about this bottle.
yeah,
already.
Amos, the lion of
The
Judah,
lion.
Amos, the prophet from Tekoa.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned that we've done some events together.
So, for those of you who had ever had the wine Psagot, it's a very well-known Israeli wine. The person who makes that wine makes this, or he participates in making this one as well. He just became the main winemaker of the winery. His name is Yaakov Oria. He
Hey,
makes.
Serena.
He does a few other things besides Psagot and this wine. He does his own thing. I forget the name of it. I mean, it's something by Yaakov Oria, blah, blah, blah. Check him out. Just Google him. Yaacov.
Yaacov.
And then his last name is Oryah. And he's got a lot of different. He's got like I think 3 different wines that you.
He's a winemaker.
He's a winemaker, yes, and he's like
Check him out.
he consults with other wineries. I mean, he's all over the place. He does, but he won't tell you about it. I mean, he will tell you about some of it, but not all of it. Anyway, so this is his thing. It's a blend. You got 4 grapes. It's kind of a, I would say, a Bordeaux style because the winemaker, the person who owns the winery, is a French guy. He made Aliyah. It's funny if you talk to him. His name is Michel. Hi, Michel. He made Aliyah
Good night, David.
in 1983 in the early 80s, and he'll tell you, this is a person. Up until he had his a stroke this summer, he was serving in the IDF in Miluim in reserve duty. I think he's like 55 or 54 years old. And if you ask him, "Hey, Michel, like, what's the deal? Like, why you're done with the army? Why are you still like doing this Miluim stuff?" He's like, he tells us it's a mitzvah d'oraita. It's a mitzvah from the Torah, not the Rabbanan, not by the rabbis. It's a mitzvah from the Torah, according to him, to serve in the army for as long as you can. Nachliel, I don't know if you can confirm this. I don't know where this mitzvah from the Torah is.
Listen.
Might just be a cute thing to say, but the guy's, in my opinion, is a big tzaddik.
Yeah, he's finding his way to serve.
Yes.
Excellent.
So
let's
we're
do
gonna try this.
pouring.
We're gonna try this 40% Merlot, 40% Cab, 12% Sirah, and 8% Malbec from Amos Winery in Tekoa. It's funny. A friend of mine she just posted a picture of Tekoa just before the snow. She lives there. Laura Ben David.
Yeah, it's snowing there in the area.
It's snowing now, but just before the snow, she posted a picture. It's very beautiful there.
No, hey Victor, no, this is my other roommate. I have a roommate who's a musician, a singer. I have a roommate who imports wine.
And who should have been a musician, but imports wine instead.
Should have been. This guy's
Used to be a DJ.
mad DJ. This guy used to shred the floors of Manhattan. I'm telling you, this guy's an amazing DJ.
Like actually shred the. I was like the contractor just shredding the floors. Yeah.
Dude, we had a dance off once.
Oh,
He
yeah.
just started moving in slow mo, and I
Yeah.
was totally ripping
I was
the dance
doing
floor.
some kind of interpretive African slow mo dance, and this guy just starts doing renovations out of control. whatever.
Those were good times. I
It was
haven't danced
fantastic.
since
And
then.
there's video of us in this, and we can't. There's some weird Syrian or Persian guy.
No, so
video.
I think he was doing
I don't know
some
what the
kind
hell.
of some kind of live.
Yeah,
So it's
and it's
probably
gone
died.
forever,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was doing like a Facebook live.
It's in the ether of
He was trying to catch my moves.
It's in Mark Zuckerberg's orifice. Anyway, you know where that goes.
Smells very strong and fruity.
Yes, it is.
Wow, very strong. Wait, so this would they say this is just hagefen or also tov v'amiti?
We'll make a geffen on it. We'll make a
Baruch
geffen.
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai mechalam be'per geffen.
Ooh, it needs time.
It needs time. It's a young wine. It's in 2016. It's the year after Shemitah. I'll tell you.
2015 and 2008 were Shemitah. I remember those years.
Yes. So usually the wine before the Shemitah is, in many people's opinion, the best wines Israel usually produces, or the couple of years before Shemitah. Year after Shemitah is still decent, but like this is just young wine. It needs time.
So just to point out, when we talk about Shemitah here in the United States,
looking at you or looking at me?
It's looking at you.
Okay, fine.
When we talk about Shemitah in Galut, outside of Israel, it's just an abstract term.
Yeah.
We don't really wrap our brains around it. But when you come to Israel and you actually speak with people who work with the land, with agriculture, and people who are in the wine industry, Shemitah actually means something. What are some of the things that it means to winemakers?
Basically, the idea is that what is Shemitah? Shemitah is the law in the Torah.
Oh, David, I'll explain your question in just a moment.
It's the law in the Torah that you basically
you
have to set aside, I guess, plots of your land.
Just let it lay fallow.
Lay fallow, and it's a mitzvah of the Torah. It's part of like all the bigger, collection or anthology of laws of I guess Meiser, where you're actually giving. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Giving a 10% donation to the poor. So now, back then, it was I guess the currency was agriculture and grain and all these kind of things. So people had to basically set aside. I'm actually asking you a question as I'm telling people this, so you can confirm if what I'm saying is correct. I might not be correct.
Yeah, just David was asking what did we mean when we said the wine needs time?
Yeah. So we'll explain that.
Yeah, let's sit down.
We'll explain that in a little bit. But just to about Shemitah. So there's winemakers in Israel. So Shemitah is one of the mitzvahs. Before you turn around into Dr. Evil land over here.
No.
Okay, Shemitah is one of the mitzvot that are kept only in the land. You can't keep it outside the land of Israel. Just like there's a few other mitzvahs concerning the land and
mitzvot atiluyot ba'aretz.
Yeah. So a lot of these winemakers who produce kosher wine, not a lot, pretty much all of them keep Shemitah. There's different ways to keep Shemitah. There's all these different what's called allowances or
religious loopholes.
There's loopholes, there's heter this and heter that.
Heter mechira. For example, if the land is owned by Jews in the land of Israel, you can't work it on Shemitah. But you can sell your land for that year to a non-Jew, usually an Arab, and they work it for you, and then you own it. It's like one of those
thumb-waving situations.
And some people don't accept that. They say you can't do it.
Rav Kook was actually, I think he was the one that did that, installed that in the modern state of Israel. A lot of people went against him, but now a lot of people do it, and it's very funny. But a lot of people still don't accept this whole thing.
But
it's a whole political thing.
Victor Fax is asking, do we have a wine here that's 30 years old?
Here where?
Here, what do you mean by here?
In America, in my house.
Here in our apartment.
On the ceiling.
In the store that he works with. He's got mad stuff.
Yeah. Rav Kook's Orot. Oh, that's a fantastic
Rav Kook's Orot.
Oh my God! Don't even get a start. We could sit here for.
I just taught them. They just learned about it.
We can. Oh, this is your student. Okay.
Yeah.
We can sit here for 3 hours and talk about this. We actually can open the book. I have it here.
Yeah, show them the book. Bring it out.
Hello.
And
Mr. Okay.
Rav Kook.
Okay. Now we're getting.
It's fine.
We just hold the whole can of worms.
I know you were saying.
So.
But just so you see
a gentleman by the name of Betzalel Naor.
Orot.
Translate. No, I was asking.
That's fine. It's fine. We're just going by the fly here.
Anyway, so Shemitah.
He has a 30-year-old wine in his home. That's what he's saying.
Okay.
Yeah, Victor did an assignment on Rav Kook. David, to your question, mitzvot hateluyot ba'aretz, talui means dependent upon or hanging on, which in Hebrew is the same thing. But just like Haman's children were all vaytlu et Haman, vaytlu v'et aseret b'nei Haman talu, because they were dependent on, hung on, connected to.
Yeah.
So mitzvot hatiluyot ba'aretz means those mitzvot which you need to be in Eretz Yisrael to do. For example, shemitah, ma'asrot, terumot, all those things you don't do out of Eretz Yisrael. That's what mitzvot hatiluyot ba'aretz mean.
So this particular wine, the last Shemitah year that we had was 2015. This particular wine is the first production after Shemitah. After
the land's been laying fallow for a year, that means the earth kind of gets its strength back, right?
Yeah.
So what does that mean to the wine?
It gets the strength back, but at the same time, it's almost like a renewal. I'm just taking a guess here. I'm not a viticulturalist. I'm not a I didn't go to school for this, but I'm assuming when they start working the land again, it's a whole kind of restarting process, and they have to really get into it. They have to really, so to speak, dig into it.
It's like coming back to school after going to Aruba or Dubai for a week, and you kind of like try to get your brain back together to working.
It's still in senioritis mode, so to speak. But that doesn't mean the wine is bad. It just means that you gotta get cranking a little more. But again, this wine is 2 years old. Red wine, usually, you're talking about, like, we have another wine here that I didn't open. We have it's from 2014, and it was in French oak barrels for 24 months. That wine, you taste it, and it's like, you could see it's just a more mature, this is a freshman, that one's a senior, you know what I mean? If you're talking about, like, high school stuff.
So there's two things going on. One of them is how long was the wine inside the barrel? Mm-hmm. And the other one is how long since you opened the bottle was it breathing in air?
So this stuff has just started.
Hi, Lisheva. My cousin just joined.
Oh, nice. How's it going?
Hello.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So this wine has not even had an opportunity to breathe yet. We just opened it up.
Can this go sideways?
It could go sideways. I just don't know if it will be sideways.
Yeah, I think that'll make everybody. No, never mind.
I think we just drank too much.
I'm just trying to figure out how to get this thing to work, because actually we want to kind of be able to put this up here, and both of us be seen.
Now I'm kind of like,
exactly. Now we can't see you.
No. You just tilt a little towards me, and then
there.
Okay, fine.
Can you see it? Now the question is, can you hear us?
Yeah, you can probably.
Yeah.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Loud and clear from there. Yes. No.
Yes. No. Maybe so. No one's answering.
No one's answering.
Bueller.
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom.
Is there an internet connection?
No, I think we're good.
Using the new chair for good use. There we go. Okay, fine.
Okay, good. They can hear us.
It's a little bit of a delay.
Anyway, so what are we doing here today, Tzvi?
What are we doing? We're talking about things and stuff.
Exactly. And that is the purpose of this first podcast. We are just talking about things and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's it.
L'chaim,
the things and stuff.
So, tell people about this book. Since a gentleman opened up a can of worms about Orot, Rav Kook's book, it's okay. You could just riff. You don't have to be prepared. You told
first
me.
of all, the riff is the Rif. It's the Rav Yitzchak. It's the Rav Elfasi.
Okay.
And he's at the end of the Gemara.
There's the Rif, the Rosh, the Taz.
No, I'm telling you, you can't bring in the Rif.
Do you know what a Taz is in Russian? It's a little bowl that you put your feet in when you're,
But the Taz is the Turei Zahav.
When I first heard the Taz, I'm like, this guy's a...
First of all, it's the Tasmanian devil.
This guy's a metal bowl.
It's the Tasmanian devil.
Nice.
Yeah, in our video here, we got to get a better angle on this.
Yeah, this is like...
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
In the words of Charles Barkley, terrible. Anyway.
I think this is good. They kind of can see us. They have a nice wide view of us, but we're kind of working here on this little screen for...
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Screen for dummies.
Screen for dummies.
So anyway, Orot, I mean, like, you don't have to talk about, like, in-depth and this and that. You could just, like, tell us why, what the significance of Rav Kook is, what the significance of this book, his book is, and why people went against him and still are kind of against him, not really.
Let me give you an example. Yeah. I'm just opening up a random page. These titles in here were added by the editor, Betzalel Nahor.
To give you a guide of what you're actually reading.
It's not how he works. Here he just has it open.
This guy just give you guys insight.
Reincarnations of biblical warriors in our day.
Incredible. Which is
Jewish history and politics, a dialectic. The topics that Rav Kook talks about are contemporary and are cutting edge, and they were written almost 100 years ago.
Not Dafka 100 years ago.
Right. And
1917.
Pretty much, 100 years ago. World War I, he was stuck in London.
Stuck in Switzerland. No, Switzerland.
No, I was stuck in London.
London, yeah.
And
Europe.
What is going on there?
I don't know. We have a gentleman doing construction.
Some of the construction.
It's all right. They're building land of Israel. They're building, favela. It's okay.
So anyway, he speaks about contemporary issues 100 years before they were contemporary, in cutting-edge terms, and in Hebrew, which is difficult to understand.
1 second. Our friend Victor, the original Orah did not have English translation. Our friend, again, Betzalel Naor, an incredible, mind and I would say Gaon, took to translating. You have to understand, Rav Kook is poetry, and you have to, and there's some of these words.
Let's hear it. I'm going to read. I'm going to read as an Israeli
and try to translate directly.
This is written about 100 years ago. Yeah. I'm reading Rav Kook's words. עזבנו את הפוליטיקה העולמית מאונס שיש בו רצון פנימי, עד אשר תבוא עת מאושרה שיהיה אפשר לנהל ממלכה בלא רשעה וברבריות. You heard that. You hear the Hebrew. You hear the poeticness. He says we have abandoned the world of the world politics, which
Morris Dweck is saying this is. Oh no, I'm sorry, not Morris. Sonny A. Says
Sonny. Hi, Sonny.
He said this is amazing, outstanding, and Morris Dweck says Asa, dude. Asa is like some Syrian situation.
I guess. I hope it's not Assad because
Asa could be like Asa, like
no,
like
but Assad means lion.
Oh, okay.
And Assad is El Malik El Hayatna.
No,
the king of the animals.
No, it's ASAH. I don't know what that
means.
Asa, like
Asa. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. He's probably doing some kind of lizginka dance.
Look.
Anyway.
זהו הזמן שאנו מקווים. מובן הדבר שכדי להגשימו אנו צריכים להתעורר בכוחותינו כולם, להשתמש בכל האמצעים שהזמן מביא. הכל יד אל הבורא, כל העולמים מנהלת. אבל האיחור הוא איחור מוכרח. בחלה נפשנו בחטאים האיומים על הנהגת ממלכה בעת רעה. So it's poetry. It's like honey, it rolls off the tongue. So he speaks about very contemporary issues. Now, he talks about things which are, I would say, sorry, I'm trying to, this pod.
Your students over here, alol.
I think it's like he's saying NLOL. In other words, laughing out loud. It's like Asa laughing out loud.
Yeah. You were not in Prague today, bro. Oh, they had tests, I guess. Your friends.
Yeah, well, he was the last one. He's the last one. He left at the bell. Right here. The moment the test was over, he was the last
Florida
guy.
is Matt Chill. Your folks are giving shout outs to my boy. Yeah.
Amazing.
Anyway.
So that was.
So
he speaks about contemporary issues at a time when people are still kind of stuck with traditional religious ideas. Israel isn't happening yet that much, and what is happening?
It's definitely not a state.
No, it's Palestine.
It's 30 years.
And what's happening in Israel is considered at the time to be a product of secular Zionism. I'm sure some of you remember we learned about Ginsburg, about Echad Ha'am. He wanted this kind of secular religion.
There's Herzl, there's Weitzman, there's all the
right. So we spoke about you see. So I told them I want you to know these names just like Americans know the name Abraham Lincoln. I want you to know the name David Ben Gurion. I want you to know the name Rav Kook. Right, so
it's like the
founding fathers.
No, it's like in the movie. You never saw the movie Eddie Murphy with he's like plays a congressman. Congressman Johnson, the name you know, and he's driving around every neighborhood. Vote for Congressman Johnson, the name you know, and then he's like Chinese neighborhood. Vote Congressman Johnson, name you know. You are smart lawyer, you're doing more Congressman Johnson, name you know. And it's like every neighborhood is like, yo man, vote for Congressman Johnson, name you know. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, sorry, I have a reference.
This is what we're doing.
Mine,
this is what we're doing. We're talking about things and stuff.
No, it's no trouble. It's no trouble here.
We're just talking about
people
things
love
and
this.
stuff.
See, they're like gonna have FOMO. They say one guy's FOMO. It's so good. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, L'chaim, exactly. So how's this wine doing?
It's breathing, it's living organism.
L'chaim.
Okay, so you were saying the names people know, the things.
Yeah, Herzl, Ben Gurion, Weitzman, Echad Ha'am. These are street names in Israel. They even have a Lincoln and a Washington Street. Right across the street from Echad Ha'am, there's Lincoln and Washington, and then you have Mendele Mocher Sfarim and Jabotinsky.
Not to be confused with Lincoln and Washington.
Not to be confused.
I used to work on Washington Street in Jerusalem.
It's right by the American Embassy.
And right by the King David Hotel, and right by the YMCA, and all these wonderful...
Wait till they hear that that Ben Gurion's organization blew up.
Oh yeah,
the King David Hotel.
Yeah. Not just Ben Gurion's, Begin's organization.
Begin,
and Lehi and all those other wonderful. But we, like Jews, we send notes to people. Hey, by the way, leave the building. We don't want to actually kill you. We just want to raise the building. But
we just want to make a point.
Yeah, no one got them. Well, it's like Jews. No one
we
got
just want to make a point. Just leave. No, they said we ain't leaving because they said to leave. But they're gonna blow up the building.
Yeah, no one got
but they said to leave.
Some people got them. Some people.
It's kind of like that scene in the good movie of Pirates of the Caribbean, where they tell the British captain to like. Why won't you listen to the plan of those with the skeleton, the pirates that go underwater? It's like, why aren't you listening to Captain Jack Sparrow? Because it's Jack Sparrow who said it. Yeah. He's setting them up. Yeah.
Anyway, so Washington, Lincoln, and you were saying about the names. Yeah.
Yeah. So we mentioned Rav Kook, and we mentioned that Rav Kook was opposed by the religious people because of the fear of the nationalistic, Eastern European nationalistic, secular, Enlightenment, anti-religious movement, which was very, very strong at the beginning of the state. It wasn't like, oh yeah, you get along, we get along, It wasn't like that. They were out there to destroy religion.
They were cutting,
Ben Gurion,
peyot of Yemenite. Our roommate, his father, Alav Shalom, was one of the lawyers for these Yemenite people who were trying to, recover.
Oh my! There's such a that's a major
scandal. Finally, now it's being,
What's this?
The prime minister. Yeah, this is your friend wrote a whole thing of to know about the names and stuff.
Yeah, Victor is saying it's smart to take these names. There's a story that goes like that a person comes into a bookstore and he says, "I'm looking for a book by." That book so-and-so by Ben Yehuda, and the guy said it's not by Ben Yehuda, it's by Jabotinsky. He said, yeah, I meant one of those streets. That's only in Israel. Yep. So my sister just celebrated her 13th anniversary, married to my brother-in-law, Shalom, who is a Yemenite, and his grandmother is from the generation whose kids were abducted by the Israeli government in order to indoctrinate them to be secular, to be enlightened. Actually, the word for secular in Israel, in modern Israel, is chiloni, which is Aramaic for somebody who's an outsider. But the original word that they used is chofshi.
Interesting.
Which is the word they intentionally changed in the song which we sing, Hatikva. Liot am chofshi be'artzenu. Liot am chofshi. It used to be the original song was Liot am Yehudi, to be a Jewish nation. The word chofshi was there to say to be a secular nation in our country. We're going to learn about this stuff.
My cousin's Sandek, who lives in Ramot, I was at his house and he talked about this and he goes, yeah, they wanted to make us free from the Torah.
Chofshi min
free from Hashem, free from the Torah. Like
David Ben Gurion married Paula, and he married her in a secular court wedding, not in a religious wedding without the rabbinate, and he took great pride in that. He took great pride in that because he didn't want to have anything to do with...
Do you think it was like a cultural issue for them, not a so much a spiritual religious issue? It was just they didn't want to wear the clothing, they didn't want to talk the talk.
It's part of the time.
Eat the food. They didn't want to.
At the time, you have to recognize. That's why I always tell my students to look at what was happening in the world at the time. We spent 3 months learning about the Holocaust, and we didn't learn about the Holocaust. We learned about the World War I, the Weimar Republic, the rise of the Nazis. Right, but that's the context in which it happened. It's what made it possible. It's this historic thinking of what was the cause and effect, which, when you realize that World War II could not have happened without World War I.
Because Hitler was in War I, he felt embarrassed and he wanted to
got kicked out of art school.
Exactly.
And World War I wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Bismarck and the Second Reich. Exactly. Right, and it goes on and on and on. You can talk about.
We'll go back to the Valkyrie.
Exactly.
Which is a fictional story.
The Valkyrie,
supposedly.
No, but so there's really no end to it. Yeah. So history is really about context. So the idea of Zionism emerged in Eastern Europe as part of a trend of nationalism, and many countries wanted to establish their own nationality. I mean, Belgium is a joke. It was invented in order to.
Wait, you're talking about to split up the what is it? You're talking about it was colonized, not colonized.
Interesting. Victor says it's kind of relatable to the route Star Wars take in an odd way. They started with the original movies, then they go. Answer the okay, fine, I mean, but they originally made it as episode 4, 5, 6. Like you knew it was going to come.
There was Interesting.
I prefer the original.
This is a senior of this kid?
Yeah, this is senior.
Wow,
senior.
This is a bright kid, man.
Yep, really brilliant.
Big ups,
Victor
man.
Facts.
Big ups. Syrian kid?
Kudos, yeah.
Big ups, man.
Well, that was pretty good. Like you talk to people today, they don't even think about that in terms of Star Wars because when these guys grew up, like the entire series, episodes 1, 2, 3 were there.
Star Wars is a Kabbalistic series of movies.
You know
the Force and all that. I mean, forget it. The tzaddik, the little tzaddik, he talks backwards. You don't understand what he's saying. You have to decipher his code.
Yoda means Yodea. Yeah, the one who knows. Yeah. Yoda.
Crazy. Nobody sees this stuff. A goy made this movie, not Jew. Whatever.
Request.
Yes.
Oh, our friend Hananel's making a request.
I would like to make a request.
Yes.
To one of the hosts of
the show. I'm not doing that noise.
To make an impression of.
Thank you.
Of the other character, not this character. At some point during the thing, not right this second, but we will when we get to the segue.
We want Smeagol.
When we get to the segue of Smeagol, we'll do Smeagol. No, it's all good. We'll do it at some point.
Don't scare them away.
Are you jealous because he does it better than you? I'm just asking.
No, he does Yoda, so it's like
he can do Smeagol.
He does, but it's
not. I can do Smeagol very well.
Listen, it's okay to learn.
You know who this guy is? He's like Baba Booey from Howard Stern. He just had he sits there. And
You're on.
I'm on?
Yes.
Okay, so I've known these guys for a while now. I've known Greg for actually a little more.
A whole whopping one person is watching you, by the way, so don't worry about it. It's all good.
Who's that one person?
Syrian
Victor Facts
from Magen David School.
Magen David School. Yeah. Okay, so Nachliel can make a decent Smeagol impression.
I want to see him? Yeah. I think he wants to join.
He wants to join?
He wants to see someone do a Jar Jar impression.
Oh my god. No. It's so scared. It's very similar to Smeagol. I don't know. It's like a non-finished Smeagol.
Oh wow, what's this noise?
Oh my goodness.
We're getting some noise here.
And darkness. Oh, there he is.
What is he, like going out for a jog? What are you, in the dungeon?
Oh.
Victor Braca! All the victors are on.
Oh my god. We have Victory is ours.
Victory is ours.
And who else? And another Victor.
Another Victor. Oh, how many victors are we having? 3 victors!
Oh my god.
Victory.
Dude, you know that's a chazaka on Victory, bro. Oh, there we go. Tzvi Mizrahi.
Okay,
wait, how did all these people just join all of a sudden?
Dude, they talk to each other on WhatsApp.
And now he's just bringing more guys. Wow. By the way, I'm not Syrian, in case you're wondering. I get mixed. Ukraine, my crane.
Ukraine, Russia.
That's what Putin said.
KGB.
Ukraine, my crane.
Yes. What are we looking at? Are we looking at a basket?
Case. This is your culture.
Basket case. Who is Tiffy? Oh, that's his maybe girlfriend.
I have no idea.
Oh, it's just
okay.
Well, you're on a live feed and your room so's your room, so
he's in bed.
Oh, well,
I mean, it is midnight, but he doesn't have school tomorrow, and he's going to Dubai on Sunday.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice place to go to. What is what?
What is Gus?
Oh, what is this?
Oh, what is this? This is This is just Tzvi and me talking about things and stuff. That's it, and drinking wine.
And talking about Rav Kook. So you were saying about Rav Kook. So basically, he was talking about these contemporary issues.
Yeah.
And people were just, what I'm understanding, people that weren't ready to hear them. He was way ahead of his time. They weren't ready to hear them.
Religious people weren't ready to hear them. Not the secular people.
No, religious people weren't ready to hear them. Yeah. But the thing is, these rabbis still respected him, and they kind of understood what he was saying. They kind of understood what he was saying, even, but they weren't.
He was a hacham. They really respected him, but he wasn't traditional.
Yeah. Interesting.
What is this?
But the irony is that the essence of the state of Israel today is something that is it's almost like it's living the words that he said.
Tiffy is trying to talk to one of us. I'm not sure. Oh, Victor. Okay, I don't need to know any of that stuff. That's private messages. Anyway, Victor, thanks for joining. It's all right, but yeah. Anyhow, so where are we holding?
We want Smeagol.
So after I say this thing, then we go to Smeagol.
Stop.
So if you look at the state of Israel today, it's essentially a manifestation of what Rav Kook was talking about 100 years ago. It's the majority of the state of Israel is a living, breathing, just inaction of what in action, not in action, but in space action of what Rav Kook was actually saying. He was prophetic.
Anyway.
He was prophetic.
Yeah. Anyway, we got a little bit off topic.
Yes.
So I was thinking, we're here. We're talking about social media, right? So let's first talk about social media.
Yes.
Do you have any inspirational YouTubers, social media gurus in any particular area? Who are they, and what is their field that they talk about?
I'll tell you something. When I first started the wine business, which was about before we even started importing, we were doing my partner and I, Yoshua. Hopefully, you'll see
Yoshua Worth.
Yoshua Worth. He's the manager of a store called the Grapevine in Muncie. So since 2015, we were doing events and tastings and social media and all these wonderful things, getting on the map with Israeli winemakers. And while we were doing that, I was really, really big on watching Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. And I don't even know who put me onto him. I think I just found
Gary V is awesome. I just heard about him literally this week. I looked him up. The guy is amazing.
He's amazing.
He's speaking our language. We're entrepreneurs, social media.
Like myself, he's a Russian Jew. He's a little bit older than I am. He came to the States with his family when he was like 3 years old. He lived in Jersey. His father still owns a store called the Wine Library. And Gary started he was one of the first people to do wine reviews on YouTube. And you could look at the views of the old videos when he first started, I don't know, years ago, 10 years ago when YouTube was just not even a thing yet. It just opened up. And a couple of people, little by little, and he just became this thing. He just became this big thing, and he learned on the fly, kind of self-taught, how to use social media, how to parlay, how to leverage social media. Not just YouTube, he's talking about Facebook. He was one of the, he says, one of the early adopters of Instagram, early adopters of Snapchat.
He was one of the first people to do YouTube.
You do YouTube on a very prolific scale and with wine, And actually, he brought forth. He was one of the people who brought forth on video Daniel Rogoff, who wrote the Rogoff Kosher Wine Guide. Actually, not necessarily a religious guy who passed away.
2009?
2011, something like that.
11.
Older, was an older guy, but he wrote the Kosher Wine Guide. So he brought Rogoff on his show, talking about kosher wine and Israeli wines and all that stuff. Nobody was doing this. I mean, because Gary V felt, okay, listen, I'm a Jew. I'm going to give some airtime to Israel as a wine producing country. Which, by the way, Gary, if you ever get to see this, we got to talk, because Israel is ready. Israel's ready for the big time, ready for the spotlight, ready for the prime time.
And you know what I'm ready for?
Yes.
Another glass of wine.
Oh yeah.
Let's do this.
Speaking of big time, prime time. And so yeah, I mean, I was watching him a lot, and then at some point, it kind of a little bit petered out. I guess my interest, because it kind of became the same thing, kind of over, at least for me, the same kind of message over and over. And I realized, you know what, this guy's doing something, and I can do something similar. I don't know about reaching as many people as he does. We're talking about millions of people, but at the same time, in terms of the content that I'm providing, I was like, listen, it's not any worse than what he's doing. I just don't have the financial backing that he has. As far as other people, honestly, I don't know that I have any personalities or accounts
Let's move this thing.
Yeah. I don't know that I follow any accounts in particular. This might sound a little cliche, but I've gotten, as many people have recently, very much into Jordan Peterson. Mm-hmm. Just because, he's got a whole wide range of topics that he covers. It's not just people who troll him and him answering them, whatever, which is kind of the more...
No, Jordan Peterson kind of speaks like me. Yeah. The stuff I like to hear
just goes off on
is
stuff,
we'll talk about Aladdin and Lord of the Rings and
he relates
Tanakh
into your life.
And talk about philosophy and raising kids.
Do you know what I find, I don't think I'd say sad, but interesting, let's put it that way? There was a thing with Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, and Dave Rubin is one of the people who was watching a lot. So they're sitting, the three of them, and then Ben Shapiro. So Dave Rubin's can you ask Ben Shapiro? Can you tell me the difference between Christianity and Judaism? And Ben Shapiro's honestly, I don't really know the differences. I just know that okay, there's a Messiah that we you guys believe in, we don't believe in. He couldn't. And then Jordan Peterson went into in depth enumerating the differences between Judaism and Christianity, and I found it very interesting that Jordan Peterson knew this and Ben Shapiro did not. And Ben Shapiro is a student of Tanakh, I would venture to say.
No, he says to know Tanakh a little bit, but he doesn't know New Testament. I mean, dude, I don't know New Testament.
Not New Testament, no. What Jordan Peterson was talking about the Old Testament thing. He was talking about the Tanakh thing, but he was talking about the general, like... I personally know teachers in Jerusalem, Jews, rabbis who do know we have a rabbi, what's his name, Tovia Singer.
Yeah,
a guy who speaks to Christians and he debates Christians all the time, and he knows what's there, and he knows what we have and what they have and what the differences are in comparative, and I think Jews should know this. Jews should know what they are. If you're not against something, but if you don't believe in something, you should know why you don't believe it.
You should definitely be literate. Who's here? Oh, nice. Charles. Who's that? Charles Ellman. Hey there.
Interesting.
How's it going?
Tease.
I don't know who that is.
Some people...
I know, I just can't remember who it is. Who's Tease? Tease is 184. I don't know who that is.
So it's almost like... Yeah. You always hear people like, oh, we don't believe in that. If a Christian comes to you and says, oh, have you found so-and-so today, JC, you should know why you don't believe in it.
So you mentioned Jordan Peterson, Tovia Singer, and Gary Vaynerchuk.
Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin is like somebody.
Dave Rubin is social media. What is he on?
He's on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. Dedicated. I mean, it's not even on television. It's on YouTube. It's his own show on YouTube.
Well, actually, YouTube. I actually the name for my company, Torah Intermedia, started from my thought of putting together a YouTube channel. I created the channel. Mm-hmm. I created the domain name, and I made an LLC, and that's all because I already had the name Torah Intermedia. That's why I made the LLC. But at the time, I was thinking, what I'm really doing is marketing an experience of how I see things, and it's really about my name. Yeah. So when I had an advisor, a consultant, look at my website, he said to me, "You're really talking about Nachliel Selavan, not Torah Intermedia."
Correct.
So that's what it says on my website, Nachliel Cohen Selavan, and Torah Intermedia is the website because I already bought the domain name and whatever. Mm-hmm. But it was really about to be a YouTube channel. Now, the reason I was inspired to make a YouTube channel is because I was influenced by several YouTubers. The first one is actually was not as influential as the second, but it's chronologically correct. It's Brett McKay in The Art of Manliness, and he spoke about The Art of Manliness. Has a great podcast. I bought several books which I really enjoyed. Actually, one of my books I gave out to one of my students, David. After reading it myself, and it really made an impact on my life, I wrote up a LinkedIn article about it called, I can't remember what it was called, the book that turned my career around, something like that.
Who is Gulamita? Sorry,
Gulamita? No sé quem é. I do not know.
Interesting.
Anyway, so The Art of Manliness is a really great podcast. It's a really great YouTube channel. It's a great website as well. I just haven't spent that much time on the reading. It's about stuff, grooming, time management, classics stuff, books to read, cool stuff. The guy he had a TED Talk, Brett McKay. My second YouTuber who really got me inspired to do YouTube, that was definitely, hands down, Aaron Marino, Alpha M. He is a social media genius. The guy can market anything. I'm a subscriber to at least 2 of his usual products. He has something that's called Pete and Pedro, which is hair products. He has something called what's it called? Skincare. It's called Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. Tiege Hanley.
Can I just say one quick thing? It's so funny with all this talk of what is it, toxic masculinity and patriarchy, but you still have these guys on YouTube who are basically...
Hey, Ike. How's it going?
Who are basically kind of fighting that flow and creating these, like you just said,
he talks about it. He talks on the YouTube channel. Brett McKay in in Art of Manliness talks about how men have been emasculated, how people feel bad about being manly. So he calls it the art of manliness. He said, now, there's things that your dad used to teach you. How to sharpen a knife, how to tie your shoes, how to shine your shoes, how to dress, how to... All kinds of life skills, fishing, whatever. Yeah. And that's been lost.
My dad never taught me how to tie a tie.
Yeah, I had to... My math tutor in 7th grade taught me how to put on a tie.
That's hilarious.
And I try to get my father to kind of listen to...
Israel's not really tied.
Who's that? Yehuda Duchan, hey there.
Oh, what's going on, brother? Can I get a bracha, please?
Can we get a bracha from our Kohen?
Wow.
Yeah.
Какие люди?
Oh my, Ike, you listen to Alpha M? Wow, I'm impressed. Good for you.
So
Aaron Marino was my inspiration to open up a YouTube channel, which is where the name Torah Intermedia came from.
There's a lot of ties in Israel, but they're not worn on.
And he lives in Atlanta. Nice. And every February he does what's called the Stylecon. I always want to go, but it's always on Shabbat. My grandmother lives in Atlanta, so it's a great opportunity, but I just can't do it. But I'd love to meet that guy.
Quick joke for you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ties in Israel. They're not worn on necks. But don't. Tip your waitress.
To a bad pun. So then some more social media influencers. I kind of liked Antonio Centeno, RMRS, Real Men Real Style, but not my style so much, but I learned a lot from him.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot from him. He's like an army, military professional kind of guy.
Totally lost on me.
No, he talks about fashion and like I became an amateur stylist and image consultant by following Alpha M, Brett McKay, well mostly Alpha M and Antonio Centeno in Real Men Real Style. Also this other guy, this German guy, what was his name? I'm forgetting.
I hope it's not Dieter.
No. I just like, but I didn't like his style of delivery. Yeah. But he's like really up there. He like, yeah. Well, anyway,
they killed all the funny people. I'm sorry, there's a horrible joke. Anyway, go on.
It's a horrible joke.
That's Robin Williams, man.
I know.
Anyway, go on.
Well, I used to think he was Jewish.
I apologize. He's not. He's pissed.
I love Robin Williams.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and Genie.
This show is dedicated to Robin Williams, actually.
Let's dedicate to Robin Williams. Mm-hmm. He pretty much is. Well, yeah, I mean, Genie. Wake up, Genie, and smell the hummus. Yeah. He's great. I actually, just to show you how old I am, I went to see Aladdin when it came out in theaters.
Likewise.
What was that, 1992?
91, something like that. I couldn't even catch half the jokes. They were so quick in this. I had to watch it like 5 more times. To, like,
you know how they convinced him to do the character is that they made a character that's based on him. Mm-hmm. And they just let him ad-lib.
They had to.
The guy ad-libbed. If you look on YouTube, you'll find some of his outtakes.
And if you see the second, there was like a second movie or a cartoon
the second one was horrible.
with somebody else, and it was just not
awful.
Even pales in comparison.
It was called The Return of Jafar.
Something like that.
Awful.
And it was a different person. It was nothing.
It wasn't.
Forget it.
No, he was in the third one though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the King of Thieves.
Oh, okay.
That was a pretty good one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. True. No, the first one was masterful. He won. I think he won an Oscar for that or something like.
For the third one?
No, the first. He was nominated. Maybe.
Robin Williams was amazing. Yeah. What's your favorite Robin Williams performance? This is Doubtfire?
No, Doubtfire is up there. There's 2. You have to watch. I think I told you about this recently, and you were surprised to hear that they were in a movie together. Awakenings with Robin De Niro, Robin Williams. Watch it. And
Awakenings?
Awakenings, or Awakening, or Awakenings. Second one is, and I haven't even seen the whole movie, but the parts that I've seen with him, Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting is monumental. Mm-hmm. It goes together with the Dead Poets Society.
And yes, and another one where he's the clown who heals people by making them laugh.
Oh, Patch Adams.
Patch Adams.
That was a
very underrated
really great movie. Patch Adams, it's based on a true story.
Yeah, and Good Morning Vietnam. Sorry, there's so many. Good Morning Vietnam.
Good Morning Vietnam.
There's that one scene where he's just making those guys laugh before they go off to like literally be like emaciated.
Oh my gosh.
And they're just like cracking up. And
Good Morning Vietnam is an amazing movie. Yeah. He also has Jacob the Liar. It's a Holocaust movie.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah, we give people hope in the Holocaust by pretending that he hears the radio and he gets killed in the end. Ugh, it's so terrible.
It's funny. He's one of those people. He's a comedian, but they put him in so many meaningful movies, and he was funny in those movies, but it was still funny. Funny.
Is there any movie in which Robin Williams is a bad guy?
There's a movie called 24-Hour Photo where he's like he was a weird character.
Oh, I was gonna say Lemony Snicket.
But also 24-Hour Photo.
Olaf.
No, but that's like still funny. But this movie, there's a creepy one. He's like a 24. He's like a photo developer guy. It's not even funny. He's not even funny. He's you have to see it. It's very creepy. I saw parts of it. I was like, this is not for me.
Creepy.
He's ridiculous. It's like it's like American Psycho kind of style kind of deal.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's whatever. I think he regretted doing it too. But it was one of his last movies that he did. Yeah.
Maybe that's why he was depressed.
No, he was not. He was not depressed. He was onset Parkinson's, and imagine a person like that who's quick and sharp. He would have got. He wouldn't be able to deal with his brain just you know, over time.
Like McFly, what's his name? Fox?
Yeah, but he's still kind of kicking. But yeah, Michael J. Fox. You're talking about the Muhammad Ali also had, you know, Richard Pryor had this stuff.
Victor Fax has never seen a Robin Williams film.
Oh my goodness. Okay, one movie that we recommend.
Start with Good Will Hunting.
Start with Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting is really good.
Also
with Matt Damon.
Yeah, I mean, 26 seconds remaining.
It's okay. We'll just start a new one. That's fine.
Very nice.
Oh wow, this live video is about to shut off.
Oh my goodness.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it. I'm going to stop it. Yeah. And then we're going to go on again. If it doesn't let us go on, we're going to go on HOI Wines. We're going to go on that one. If it doesn't work, we're going to do that one, okay? So look that one up. Boom. Okay? If you all want to follow, if this doesn't work, here it's going to end. 2, 1, and boom.
All right, let's try this again. Holy flip.
Nice. No, this is still recording.
It's getting more.
Okay. Okay. Let's see if we can go live again.
No. Yeah, live right there. Uh-huh.
No, that's just showing us what was going on live.
We're gonna continue.
You wanna pause this for a moment? Pause. This is gonna be part 1. You do part 2. Can you just pause it? Hit pause. You know, you'll see the little red button.
The screen is.
Yeah, on the screen.
There's enter password. The screen.
Okay, fine. Let's do this.